What's up, 2K crew? It's your boy Turbo, and if you're watching on YouTube, I'm the only asshole you're looking at. Why? Because we're locked down. We're locked down. But not to worry, not to worry. You don't have to listen to my voice the entire hour. I've got 2Ks on the phone. What's up, 2Ks?
What up? How's it going?
Well, I guess I should probably check in with you, considering you've got the wife and kiddos, but you're probably with your job, you're probably essential, right?
Yeah. I've been working every day, so as far as holding down the fort with all the kids and the child doing all that, so she's the reason of the whole situation.
Absolutely.
I get to get out of the, and when I come back in, normally I get home around 4 o'clock or so. It's basically tag, you're in.
Well, you know what? I can see how that would work out pretty well for both you guys. So it's not just one toting the herd the entire time. But yeah, I can imagine if you weren't one of the essential workers, how people would freak out without fucking internet right now. I know I would.
Yeah, and then I mean it's kind of complicated because right now they're kind of shortened up our schedules as far as our everyday work, but we still have to be kind of on call to work for outages and all that. So
right. Well, 2Ks, now that folks know what the fuck is going on, I want to let everyone know out in 2K land that your boys have their first sponsor, like their first real sponsor. I know we kind of joked about it in the past with someone donating a t-shirt for me to wear, but this is legit, ladies and gentlemen. You know what that means? We're one step closer to being on Jim Rome's level. Right, 2Ks?
That's right.
But I did want to give a big shout out to Drop Anchor Tavern in Marcellus. I'm going to read you their recent Facebook post. It says, "Thank you so much for all the support again this week. With the recent COVID cases closer to home, we have decided to continue with curbside service and delivery. We are adjusting our hours starting tomorrow to eliminate lunch, but we will add an hour at dinner. So our hours begin tomorrow, March 28th, which will be Monday. Monday through Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will post specials throughout the week also. Our delivery fee will still be $5 for those who live within a 5-mile radius of Drop Anchor. Our phone number to call in orders is 269-646-2425. Please help businesses in Marcellus by ordering breakfast and lunch at Amy's Diner and also at Big Tony's Pizza. Your orders do help. So folks, get out there if you can to help support these businesses, because these are honestly businesses that in the past, your Little League team, any sort of organization, 9 times out of 10, they have no problem cutting you off a little something for your organization. So now it's our turn to give back. So again, that phone number to order is 269-646-2425. And they're open Monday through Saturday from 4 to 8 p.m. So Chris and Gary Z, a big shout out to and a thank you for the sponsorship. Well, 2Ks, let's jump into the meat and potatoes of this now. Well, before we do that, we have to do the standard YouTube thing. YouTube, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, because we're bringing you all things sports. As you can see, we play hurt. We do this all the time. We fall down. We rub dirt on it. I mean, we're coming to you on the telephone and across your earbuds. So give us a big shout out there. And for those of you that are listening on the audio side, wherever you consume your podcast, give us a subscribe and a 5-star review. And if you leave us a comment, we'll read it on the air. So enough of that shit. Let's get into the good stuff here. And as most of you know, baseball had their meeting, so they're still planning on the season, regardless if it's multiple doubleheaders, truncated season. I mean, everyone's pretty much on board. And 2Ks, correct me if I'm wrong, from the 4 major sports, they're the only ones that have even talked about with the players how everything's going to be handled. I mean, it goes. The whole thing goes deeper than just playing the season. I mean, you've got dudes that Take Mookie Betts, for instance, and a handful of others that if they don't play this year, they're not a free agent next year. So there's a lot more moving pieces than what folks really understand. So I don't think I think the NBA has kind of scheduled a talk or something, but I haven't seen where they've actually sat down and talked about it.
Yeah, to my understanding, I haven't heard anything as far as only from baseball. And to me, baseball is the most complicated one because you have the spring training there for a reason. A lot of these pitchers, they have to build up and be able to build their arm strength up before they can just go out there and give you 7-8 innings like you guys are doing when the regular season comes about. So even when we do get to the point where we're able to have baseball back, there's going to have to be at least a shortened version of spring training baseball before we can even get into the games that actually matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, these guys were 3/4 of the way ramped up when all this shit happened. So it's not like you can just flip a switch and be into in a early season form. I guess the bright side is that if there is a bright side to all of it, everyone's on the same level. You know what I mean? And so yeah. It's not it's not like one team's gonna have an advantage because they played extra games or had extra time to do this, extra time to do that. Everyone's on the same page. It's all across the board. And
yep.
Conversely to that, you have the NBA who was mid-season and trying to figure out how to take care of that. I mean, I was watching SportsCenter, I think it was yesterday or last night, and Brian Windhorst wrote an article that said that the Chinese basketball league, they were playing they're getting their games started back up, and what they're doing is they picked 2 locations. Everyone played out of those 2 locations. Basically, for lack of better terms, they're keeping these dudes in like the biodome, in the middle of the biodome instead of like a waterfall and shit. And for those of you that don't get the biodome reference, go ahead and look it up. It's an awesome movie. But in the middle of it is a big ass basketball court, and that's how they're getting their season done. I never even thought about anything like that, but I do think it is rather cool that there's obviously folks smarter than you and I trying to figure this out to see where everything can go from here.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I haven't heard anything from hockey. I mean that their season was in mid form too. So baseball.
Yeah. Hockey though is when have we ever really heard anything about hockey?
Well, we hear all the time that the Red Wings suck. So at least now
and then
at least now the Detroit fans can't bitch about the Pistons losing, the Red Wings losing. So I really haven't heard from a lot of you folks. Are you guys still good? Just a reach out from Turbo and 2Ks to make sure that all those people are okay. Because I haven't seen you on Facebook. I haven't heard the shit talking. I haven't heard the bitching. And so we have two of the 4 major sports mid-season. We got baseball that was just getting ready to get started, and then football. I mean, even college football. And I mean, if with football, everything is kind of starts with high school, to be honest with you, or even Pop Warner or anything like that. So I have a feeling if the NFL season gets pushed back, which hopefully, God willing, all of this is behind us, or at least a lot more controlled, so that we can get back to normal shit. But just in case it doesn't, I mean, all of that shit's gonna have to move back, and you might be looking at not only like the baseball players and stuff in high school and the track athletes and all the other spring athletes, all their shit was canceled. So if you fast forward to, if it goes even further, you're going to see fall sports getting canceled as well. So that's going to throw a whole monkey wrench into the recruiting for the NCAA. And then what happens as far as, if God forbid the season can't go, I mean, you're looking at, all right, well, freshmen leading into sophomores, those the guys that haven't already declared for the draft, what do you do with them? So even though the NFL is still kind of at arm's reach, it hasn't even started yet or even come close. I was watching SVP the other night, and he had Brian Kelly on. Brian Kelly said we need to start by at least July 1st. So, like I said, hopefully that's everything's calmed down and we can move on from this. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of the recap as far as all the major sports goes. I saw that even golf is rescheduling or postponing or even canceling some of the events. Dana White's nuts because he's still having events worldwide. So if you want to get your UFC fix, I think that's next Saturday. There's a big fight going on. So at least there's a little bit of something besides the train that's going by. So, well, 2Ks, your homework, our homework. Since we all are, and I did learn a new term for a baseball fan. You ready for this? We are seam heads. Never heard of that before in my life.
Real? Yeah. Haven't heard that at all.
So I guess you and I can officially join the Seam Head Club because we are baseball fans. And 2K Crew, what we're going to do is we're going to break down each one of the divisions, American League and National League, give you where we think each one of the teams will fall because, yes, baseball is going to happen. It is going to happen. And we're going to give you kind of like some previews, way too early picks for MVP, Cy Young, maybe a Coach of the Year. We'll see where it goes. So 2Ks.
Before started in this, I guess one of my questions I have going on as far as the baseball season goes is how many games do you think we're going to get? Do you think we're going to get over 100? I think it's going to be somewhere in like the 80 range.
I have a feeling they're aiming for at least 100, and that's why they're bringing in, they've put it on the table already of, multiple doubleheaders. Now, the only thing that I really don't like with the doubleheaders is I want 9-inning doubleheaders. I don't want 7-inning doubleheaders. That's
for the fans' sake, because I've been to a doubleheader before. Actually, I've been to a couple of them, and for fans' sake, if you go to a doubleheader, they stopped serving alcohol at the first pitch of the second game. So,
oh wow!
I don't think for fans you don't really want the double headers either. It sounds great when before you go, and double the beer.
Right?
No, that's not the case. You get one game and then you're cut off.
I've never been to a doubleheader, so I wouldn't even. I figured it would just be like at the end of the seventh or the middle of the seventh, like it always is.
I mean, I would have been with cutting us off at like the fourth or the fifth, but.
Yeah.
No, first pitch of the second game and you're cut off.
Well, that just goes to show you if you ever go to a next one, when you're in line for beer, get 2 instead of 1. There, jackass. But all right,
No, I think that there's going to be like there's got to be like a certain amount of games before they just cancel the whole season. And
I agree.
As much as that pains me to say, you don't want to be on a team that wins a World Series in a 75-game season. I'm just throwing that number out there, but that just isn't gonna. That's just, to me, being a competitor and playing a shortened season, basically half of the season. I don't even want my name on that.
No.
On that World Series. Because to me, that's almost as bad as the Houston Astros World Series in 2017. So,
yeah, and
to me, there has to be like a number, and if this goes, too long, which hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, I think I would just be better off with canceling the season and moving on to the next.
I'm 100% with you. The only thing that I would add is if there was a season like that, and I think it would be more beneficial to some of the smaller teams, because I think what's going to happen with where everyone, Vegas odds say that the Yankees and Dodgers are going to win or are going to meet in the World Series. I mean, those are Vegas's picks. They're two of the best teams in baseball. I mean, you really can't argue that. Now, one of the best parts about those teams is their length, their longevity. They'll just wear you out and beat you up. So if you do have a shortened season, how I agree with you as far as where it would rank in like baseball history. You know, all right, well you won the the short bus World Series if you want to call it that, but as a fan, I think it would be neat because the way the Yankees and Dodgers are built to just bludgeon you to death over time,
Hmm.
you could see, kind of like a quick upstart team, like just throwing it out there, like the Reds, for instance, who made a bit, a lot of splashes in free agency, and you could see a smaller team like that where had it been the 162 or 100, that a team like that, a young team could get hot as fuck, make a gigantic run. That's the only positive I would see from a shortened schedule like that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and when it goes to making some of these picks that I made today, I kind of looked at, maybe teams that are not, set up for the long haul, but maybe set up for teams that are set up for a shortened season. That changes a lot when it comes to, some teams that might not have as deep of a rotation, but when you're playing a shorter season, you can shorten up the time off that you have for pitchers, and things might change. You might see more of a second half approach from teams right at the very beginning of the season, knowing that you're going to be playing a short season.
Absolutely, absolutely.